Today we are looking at horizontal translations for parent functions. Our parent function we're looking at today is f of x equals x squared. That is a quadratic and it's shaped like a parabola. Let's draw a parabola now. So a parabola in standard parent form is going to be at 0, 0, 1, and 1 squared is 1, and then 2, and 2 squared is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can do the same thing on the left side. So we have -1, which will also give us 1, and -2, which will also give us 4. So here is our basic parabola shape. Now what we want to consider is what happens when we add or subtract a number inside the parent function. In this particular function, we are looking and considering inside to be inside parentheses. So we're doing something to the function before we square it. Inside can look different depending on the parent function. For example, if this was a square root, inside the square root would be under the square root. If it was a rational, inside would be in the denominator. So it just depends on the function. For our case, we're looking inside the parentheses. In this problem, we have -3 subtracted inside the parentheses. So let's see if we can figure out what happens here. If we take a point and we subtract 3 first and then square it, that is actually going to make up the graph move to the right. So inside is a little bit opposite than what you think. You think this is a -3, that should go to the left, but that's not actually what's happening. It's actually doing the opposite. So let me give you an example. If I was to move this 0, 0 to the right 3, 1, 2, 3, I now have the point 3, 0. Let's try and see if that actually ends up working out, okay? So if we have an x value of 3 and we plug this in, 3 minus 3 is 0 and 0 squared gives me 0. So we can prove it by just plugging in some points, but we want to be able to graph these things easier. We don't want to have to plug in points. We want to be able to go, this is our parent function, this is what subtracting 3 inside does to that parent function. So if this is moving right 3, this is going to also move right 3. So if we take this point, let's move it right 3. 1, 2, 3. And the same thing here. 1, 2, 3. So now we have our right side. Let's do our left side. We're moving this one. 1, 2, 3. And moving this one. 1, 2, 3. We can see that by subtracting a number inside, we're actually moving it to the right. So if we're subtracting any number, we're moving it that many units to the right. Okay? Again, this is inside. If you want to know what happens on the outside, check out my vertical translations video. Let's look at the next one. This is a +4 inside. We want to move it the opposite way. So inside, opposite. If this is a +4, we would think that would go to the right, but we're actually going to the left. So we're going to take our parent function graph that I graphed in blue and move each of these points now to the left. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go ahead and do this right side here, moving it 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this blue point here, moving 4. 1, 2, 3, and it happens to be there. So now we can see that the green graph is when we add 4 on the inside of a quadratic. Okay, so this is if we add a number inside, we're moving to the left. This is called horizontal translations because we're moving left and right. So if we subtract a number inside the function, we move right that many units. If we add a number inside the function, we move left that many units.